So hey everybody, it's Mickey. Today's video is going to be a lot of fun. I have a wedding DIY to do. We're going to be putting together our gifts for the Hallmark movie weekend. There's Thanksgiving prep, there's a great recipe, and so much more. So if you are new here, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe. I put out new videos every week about all things home. For the last several years, my sister-in-laws and I have been getting together 1 week in November to have a Hallmark movie marathon weekend. We meet at my sister-in-law's beach house in Maryland, and it's usually a weekend just full of, sitting around in our PJs, eating a bunch of good food, and watching some really sappy movies. So this coming weekend is our big weekend away, and what we're going to be doing this weekend is assembling about 200 wedding favors for my nephew's wedding. And what I like to do every year is get us matching t-shirts. What I really would like to do is have everybody in matching pajamas, but they are totally not into it, which is fine, I guess. But I found these Elf Squad t-shirts on Amazon. I thought they were perfect, just like Santa's elves working in, the little toy factory. We're going to be there and putting together until I'm sure late into the night these wedding favors. I thought these shirts were just super cute. My favorite holiday movie by far is Elf. I watch it every year, and every year I laugh like I've never seen it before. So I think what I might do is go back and buy a bunch of these shirts for my immediate family, because they had like Papa Elf and Sassy Elf and Mama Elf, all kinds of different, variations of this. And I thought that would be really cute for us to, wear them on Christmas Eve, watch Elf all together, and I could finally achieve my matching pajama dream. I also always like to include, some kind of little Christmas decoration, and QVC had these adorable gingerbread houses. They came in a set of 3. They were all a little bit different. They light up. I thought they would be, just so perfect for our little weekend as a little, takeaway memory from it. I really love the whole gingerbread theme anyway, so these were so cute. I will put links to these down below for you so you can take a look at them. I really highly recommend the Elf Squad t-shirt. I think they're so great. I think for my family, what I'll do is I'll put everybody's name on the back, and we'll get, matching pajama bottoms. I'm sure I'm gonna have to wrestle, a couple of the kids into them, but hopefully if I say that's all I want for Christmas this year, maybe everybody will comply. So I just have a couple more of these to put together. I also found these cute little elf gift bags on Amazon. So I have you guys know how much I like a theme. So I'm gonna put these together, set them aside, and I will be meeting you guys back here in the craft room for a wedding DIY. My nephew is getting married in December. He's the one that we are making the wedding favors for this weekend. I've been working on some projects, to help decorate the reception. They're getting married in this big old barn. It's just going to be beautiful. Now today's project is a simple wooden box to sit on their table at the reception. It'll have their name on it, and the florist is going to create a big arrangement of flowers inside. It's just going to be very simple and very beautiful. So I'm going to put a picture somewhere around here of what they're looking for. So I'm going to try to copy it as closely as I can. I always keep a list in one of my planners of my favorite Cricut fonts. So when I come across one that I really like, that is really pretty, I write the name of it down so that I can pull from this list when I do, a special project like this. So I have my Cricut out. I'm going to use my Cricut Joy, and we are going to try to figure this out. I think my hubby's going to help me get this centered really well and make sure that it is straight, because that is the one thing that always trips me up on projects like this, is getting it first time straight and ready to go. So I may have left you guys hanging yesterday. It is a new day. I had thought that this project was going to take me all of maybe an hour to get done, and it ended up taking me about 4 hours to get it all completely done. I had cut out a bunch of different fonts so that I can get the placement just right. I wanted it to look, you know, fancy but not too fancy. The reception is going to be in this old barn, and it's going to be very rustic with a bunch of sparkly twinkle lights. It's just going to be really pretty, and I didn't want it to be, you know, too fancy or not fancy enough. The font that I had decided to use is called Lana Jane, and it is just a font that can be found on the Cricut Design Space for anybody to use. I think it is really beautiful though, and it just took me a little while to figure out the size that I wanted the letters and the placement of the letters, and it just was a little frustrating, I gotta be honest with you, but it came out. I think it's beautiful. This is going to the florist, and they're gonna put a beautiful flower arrangement in it, and it'll be sitting on the bride and groom's table at the reception. So I am really relieved that this is done and that it looks so nice, because I just wanted it to be special. I didn't want it to look homemade, and I wanted it to be something that they can use over and over again, you know, in the next couple years. So this weekend, along with all the wedding favors, we're going to be working on some signs for the reception, you know, for their specialty drink, and they're going to have like a little photo booth and all kinds of little things. So we're going to add this to the wedding DIY pile, and I will try to take some pictures this weekend and show you the other things that we were working on. I'm heading to Costco to do a little bit of Thanksgiving prep and just basic restocking of my pantry for the upcoming holiday season. Since I was gone in October, I never got to do, you know, some of that basic fall staple shopping for things that we needed, so this is all included in today's Costco haul. I'm sure there will be a few more trips there though to pick up all of those holiday goodies. Since everything that we picked up today at Costco is going to be going down here in our extended food pantry, I thought we would just bring the whole haul down here so that we can go through it, divide it up, decant it if we need to, and get it stored away. About 3 times a year, I go through my whole entire pantry and I write down what I have so that I can make note of things that I am running low on, and I check all of the expiration dates to make sure that everything is being used up when it needs to. So this Costco haul is going to be the first in what will probably turn out to be several grocery runs to fill up the pantry, to restock what has run low, and to make sure that I have everything I need for the upcoming fall. So let me show you what I picked up today at Costco. We'll start over here in the back with the Raisin Bran. This is my son Mike's most favorite cereal. He's been eating it since he was like a little guy, and this box honestly will probably be going to him. So we have 1 box of cereal. I have a package here of Pam, which is really good to have on hand because we are going to be having so much baking coming up in the next couple months, you know, leading up to the holidays. I have a big container of garlic powder. I use garlic powder in almost every recipe that I make, you know, for dinner or for lunch. We have a big box of organic raisins. I have a large box here of Ritz crackers. Ritz crackers are a staple in our house. They are so good to eat with, you know, chicken salad or tuna salad, you know, peanut butter and jelly, all those kinds of things. I even use these to crush up and put on tops of casseroles. We really love our Ritz crackers here. I picked up a couple jars of peanut butter. I'm usually a Jif peanut butter eater, but at least at the Costco in our area, they have not had Jif on the shelves since it was recalled a couple months ago. So Skippy is my second choice. This was always my dad's favorite peanut butter. I like to have at least 2 jars of smooth and 2 jars of chunky peanut butter in my pantry pretty much at all times. I mean, I cook with it, I bake with it, and I probably eat a little bit of it every day. I picked up 4 pounds of butter. This is salted butter. I'll use this for everything from, at the table and baking. I have a case here of 12 cans of Del Monte cut green beans. This is probably one of the only canned vegetables that I use on a regular basis. I like to use these to make my Italian green beans, which I usually serve with like pork roast, and sometimes alongside something like baked ziti or something like that. So I have a case of this. Then we picked up 2 large bags of nuts. We have some pecans and some almonds. We eat these, throughout the week for snacks, and I also use pecans a lot in my baking. I am always stocking my tomato products in my pantry, and this is 3 big 28-ounce jars of crushed tomatoes. I put this in my sauce, and I also use this to make my pizza sauce for Pizza Fridays. And then I picked up some of this Dawn Ultra Power Wash. I really don't know how I did dishes without this stuff before it came out. I use this every day. This is so great to just squirt in your, your pans that you've completely messed up while you were making dinner. And I do the rest of the dishes, and by the time I come to the pans, all I have to do pretty much is rinse them and everything comes off. So I really love this stuff. I got a big package of eggs. Of course, everybody uses eggs almost every day, so these will be probably in my little refrigerator down in the basement until we finish up with what I have upstairs. Then I went ahead and I picked up some socks. Now these socks from Costco are my absolute favorite socks. I buy these every year. I wear them all through the fall and the winter. They keep my feet so nice and warm, and this is like merino wool, which is really great because your feet don't really sweat in them, so they're comfortable all the time. So I got myself 4 new pairs of those. Got some socks here for my hubby, which are just the regular Adidas ankle socks. I also picked up a package of 12 hand towels. I replace these pretty frequently in our house. I use them every day in, all of our bathrooms. And I like to use white because, when you wash them every week, it's a good idea to throw in some bleach to make them as clean and as disinfected as they can be. So I replace them pretty frequently because I like to make sure that they're bright and white and as clean looking as possible. And you can't go to Costco without grabbing, a big case of toilet paper. This is the ones that we use all the time. I probably have maybe 2 of these in our little storage closet for all our paper products. I also have a big package of Tide. I like to have an extra box of Tide on hand all the time. And then we also picked up some napkins. So that's everything that I picked up at Costco today. I'm going to take a little time, decant as much as I can, just meaning I like to take things out of the boxes. I'm able to store so much more that way. I'll put everything away, and then I'm going to meet you back in the kitchen for the best recipe ever. So tonight for dinner we were making an old family favorite, and that is chicken TETRAZINNI. Now I usually make this with leftover turkey after Thanksgiving, but honestly I think I like it a little bit better with chicken. So the only thing that I do differently than probably the recipes that you see out there is I like to add mushrooms if I have them, and I really love to add spinach. I think that it adds a lot of flavor to the recipe, and the more you can add a little bit of something green into your meals, the better. So in this big bowl here, I have a 16-ounce package of linguini. I like to break my linguini up into thirds before I cook it, but you can just as easily just toss it in whole. I have some sour cream here, a couple cans of cream of chicken soup, and under here I have 4 large chicken breasts all cooked up, and I'm going to chop these up into, small bite-sized pieces. So while I get that done, I'm going to boil my linguine so that everything is all ready to assemble in just a little bit. I have all my ingredients here on my island. In this big bowl, I have all of like the shredded and chopped cooked chicken. I have a really big handful of fresh washed spinach. I have my cream of chicken soup, my sour cream. I have about a half a cup of chicken broths just so I can get that consistency just right. And then I have I would say about a cup and a half of mozzarella and provolone. You can also use Parmesan cheese or Romano cheese. This just happens to be my favorite combo. So we're going to start to combine the ingredients into this big bowl, and I have out one of my really large casserole dishes. This is a little bit larger than a 9 by 13. This casserole has a lot of ingredients in it, and you really want your dish to have a lot of room so it can spread out. So depending on how much chicken you're working with determines whether or not you're going to be using 2 cans of cream of chicken soup or just 1. I really don't follow a recipe. I just kind of try to eyeball it and see how the mixture comes together, and sometimes I add a little bit more, sometimes I don't. We'll just have to see what it looks like when we have it, you know, pretty much mixed together. So that is 1 can of cream of chicken soup. I'm going to put in a couple heaping tablespoons of the sour cream, and then I'm going to stir that together a little bit and see what we have. I'm going to add about a half of can more of the cream of chicken soup and a couple more tablespoons of the sour cream. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some of my spinach, along with a little bit of chicken broth to kind of loosen it up a little bit before I add linguine. So I ended up adding all of the spinach. I'm going to add a good handful of the shredded cheese, and I'll be saving the rest of it to put on top of the casserole. I'm also going to add some garlic powder, some black pepper, and of course some Mrs. Dash. You really do not need salt in this dish at all because of the soup. And we're going to mix this up, and then we're going to add in our noodles. So I'm adding in our linguine, and if I don't use that full package of the cooked linguine, I'm just going to put it, you know, in the fridge for another recipe. But I just like to add it a little bit of it at a time, so that I'm sure that I mix it up really well. And I'm going to add the rest of my chicken broth, and then I'm just going to keep on adding and mixing until it is the consistency that I'm looking for. So I used almost all of the pasta. I re-seasoned the mix really well, and then I also added some crushed red pepper flakes just to give it a little bit of a kick. I sprayed my casserole dish with some non-stick cooking spray, and we're going to add it into the dish, and then we're going to top it with some of the shredded mozzarella and provolone and a little bit of dried parsley flakes. Once everything is spread out in your casserole dish, cover it with a layer of cheese. You can even sprinkle the top with a little bit of parsley flakes or even crushed crackers. Cover with foil, and then you will be baking this in a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes. This recipe is just so yummy, so creamy and delicious. It is so simple to make. There are so many recipes out there for turkey or chicken tetrazzini. This one is simple and quick. It is perfect for the holiday season when you are trying to get out the door or have the time to sit down and visit with family and friends. So that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. Can you believe that we are coming up on Thanksgiving week already? This is such a fun time of year. There's so much to plan, so much to do, and so much to share with all of you. I hope that you will join our communities over on Facebook and Instagram at My Bashful Life, and don't forget to subscribe. I have some fun videos coming up and I know you don't want to miss them. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have, be kind to each other, stay safe, and I will see you again soon. Bye!